Let me ask you something. How long are you going to wait? How long before you stop saying, someday, and start saying, now? How long before you stop explaining your life and start owning it? Because here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Right finger, your life is not controlled by your circumstances. Right finger, it's controlled by your decisions. Not your past, not your parents, not the economy, not your age, your luck, or your situation. Your decisions. And today, right now, you are making one, whether you realize it or not. The most dangerous word in the world, the most dangerous word in the human vocabulary is later. I'll start later. I'll change later. I'll chase my dreams later. Later becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. Next year becomes never. And one day, you wake up and realize you didn't fail. You just never decided. No more excuses. Because excuses are just lies we tell ourselves to stay comfortable. Comfort is the enemy. Let's be honest. Comfort feels good. Comfort says, stay where you are. Don't risk embarrassment. Don't try and fail. Don't push past your limits. But comfort is also where dreams go to die. Nothing extraordinary has ever come from a life built on comfort. Growth is uncomfortable. Discipline is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. But regret is unbearable. You are becoming someone, every single day. Here's the part most people miss. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become successful. You don't accidentally become confident. You don't randomly become strong, disciplined, or fulfilled. You are becoming someone right now. With every habit, every excuse, every choice to act, or not act. The question is not if you're becoming someone. The question is, right finger, is it someone you respect? Stop negotiating with your potential. Most people live their lives negotiating with their potential. I'll give 50% today. I'll try, but only if it's easy. I'll commit, but only if there's a guarantee. There are no guarantees. Life doesn't reward half-hearted effort. Life rewards decisive action. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more information. You don't need permission. You need a decision. The day everything changes, there is a moment, quiet, invisible to the world, when everything changes. It's the moment you stop asking, can I? And start saying, I will. Not when the fear disappears. Not when the timing is perfect. Not when everyone supports you. You decide in spite of fear. You move in spite of doubt. That moment is not loud. It doesn't come with applause. But it rewrites your future. Your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Listen closely. Your past does not define you, unless you keep using it as an excuse. What happened to you may not have been your fault, but what happens next is your responsibility. You can't change where you came from, but you can change where you're going. And the strongest people in the world aren't those who had it easy. They're the ones who decided not to stay broken. Excuses sound logical, until time passes. Excuses sound reasonable in the moment. I'm tired. I'm busy. I don't have enough money. I'll start when things settle down. But time doesn't wait. Years pass while people explain their lives instead of living them. And one day, the excuses don't sound logical anymore. They sound like regret. Decide who you become. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine two versions of yourself. One who keeps making excuses. One who decides, fully, completely, relentlessly. One stays where they are. One grows. One watches others succeed. One becomes the example. One wonders, what if? One says, I did. Which one is you? Because every habit you build is a vote. Every excuse you repeat is a vote. Every action you take is a vote. You are voting for the person you are becoming. Discipline is self-respect in action. Let's redefine discipline. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. It's saying, I matter enough to keep my word to myself. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. You don't need to feel ready. You need to be committed. And commitment means showing up when it's hard. Doing the work when no one is watching. Choosing growth over comfort. Fear is a sign you're close. Fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means pay attention. Fear shows up when you're about to grow. The life you want is on the other side of awkward beginnings, uncomfortable conversat,